In 3, 2, 1, we're live. You are the one saying that, bro. What's up, everyone? It's Coach Mike, and welcome to the first, I don't know what's called this yet, something to do with something, the Coach Mike Show, the Essential Show, the Health and Performance Life. I don't know. I don't have any cool names yet. I'm going to come up with one. This is a new series that I'm creating. I figured out I am not someone that likes to journal. I'm not someone that keeps a diary. It gets me in trouble. I barely write down all my commitments. I try to just remember it in my head, but I am working on that because that's something I'm trying to be better at this year. And it's a video series so I can be accountable to myself, talk through things that I'm learning, talk about things that I'm doing in a longer form content that allows me to hopefully educate people, keep you entertained, and give you some insights into Coach Mike. So I'm doing this for this year. I'm going to commit to it and get these done and keep a series going. I think this is the only way to be accountable is to do things like this. And it's timing nicely with our big event that we've got coming up. So hopefully you enjoy it. Hopefully there's a lot of take-homes, some really cool stuff. And if you're interested in learning about all things training, performance, biohacking, mental mindset awareness, high performance, all the cool things that are out there in the world, like this, which I'll talk about today, then this is the show for you, and I look forward to sitting here and talking to you. It's kind of like a take. I did do our podcast last year, so that was something that we had running. It was 10-minute snippets. I'm now taking this a little bit different approach, and we'll see how we go with it. So first off the rip, I'm going to start by talking about anything to do with health and lifestyle stuff that I'm personally working on and the experience I'm having with that. So the first thing I can talk about today is the last 7 days I have gone without processed sugar in the form of lots of added sugar to things. So for instance, no chocolates, no sweets. What I haven't limited that to yet is I'm still eating pasta, which will have some sugar in it, and bread, which will have some sugar in it as well. In terms of like the ratio, it's a much smaller amount of sugar compared to a lot of chocolate that I was eating. So I used to put on a facade and say I can eat chocolate and muffins before training, and then that would bleed over into me eating more of it at night. And I know that it's not optimal for sleep to eat a lot of sugar at night. So it's something I wanted to cut out, and I decided that, well, why wait for the 50 good days when you can get a head start on it, get in front of it, and then talk to people about it and tell them your experience. So the first 2 days, which was Sunday, Monday, going to the start of the week just passed, I struggled with brain fog. So I had a lot of brain fog, and I guess I didn't have any real withdrawals. So what I did do was substitute chocolate with fruit, because I needed the calories either way, with the way I train, the way I live my life. The sugar I was consuming from chocolate wasn't something that was negative in terms of pushing me over my calories for my day-to-day maintenance and levels I need. It was just a habit I had formed and something that I sort of like went to as comfort. And it didn't always feel amazing after it, especially when I would indulge in half a block of Whittaker's creamy caramel. I wouldn't feel the greatest. So that's what I wanted to change. I wanted to change so that I could reframe my body and brain into thinking about foods that were going to nourish me and give me the energy I needed and the calories I needed, but also provide other nutrients and vitamins to help me build a stronger, more resilient body, and potentially also improve my cognitive enhancement and function as well. So I started spending some time flipping the script, focusing on the best sources of fruits you can utilize in a day-to-day process, plus some that I just really like, such as a nectarine. And I swapped out the chocolate. So first few days, I had a lot of brain fog. It was cloudy, my concentration was low, my creativity was low. I was still training pretty well. I have a really good tolerance there to no matter what's going on in my life, or stress, feeling, energy, anything to do with like lack of sleep and whatnot, I can always find something when it comes to training. And I just put that down to the fact that I've been training for so long, since I was like 15 years old in the gym, on and off early, and then obviously over the last 10 years really consistently. So for me, training's an outlet, something I really love. I can always get up for it no matter what. And yeah, the sugar thing is interesting. So 7 days in, no cravings for it. Definitely having more fruits around. In terms of body composition or my body, there's no significant change, I would say, in terms of, like, I'm not saying that I'm any leaner, although I'm quite lean at the moment. I'll be under sub 10% body fat. I'm not trying to lose weight. I'm trying to give myself energy from the carbohydrate sources that I'm picking. So that's why I chose fruits. And there's a lot of other benefits to the fruits that you can consume with all the other essential vitamins and minerals that are in them. So I'm actually feeling really good, feeling pretty energized and optimized. My training's really hard at the moment. I'm chasing a 140 clean. It's the big thing, the big rock right now. And aesthetics wise, I'm trying to still build a couple of key areas for myself personally. It's shoulders and traps, the growth target areas, and biceps has been a focus. Been trying to grow these. Hopefully they grew over the last little bit, so I'll continue with that. I could sit here and talk for that for a long time, but there's more to get through. I don't want these to be super long episodes, but hopefully that's given you a little bit of insight into how I've gone with it. And it's good. Just pick one thing. The biggest thing I can say is, like, picking one thing that you're going to get rid of or change. It makes it really simple and clean and easy rather than trying to do too many things at once. So, sitting next to me, I just got this. Shout out to Nelson Asafa Solomona. This is my new, hydrogen machine that enriches my water with hydrogen. So I'm excited to try this. I've been using Tasmanian natural spring water, which is mineralized with natural electrolytes, magnesium, sodium, potassium, calcium, for the better part of, like, the last 5-7 years. Before that, I've had water filters. I have a water filter at the gym. I predominantly only drink filtered or natural spring water, still mineral, all the time anyway. And if I don't have access to it, I'll use Celtic sea salt in my water. For me, water's a big one. I definitely noticed the benefits to optimizing my body with high quality H2O, especially when our body's 60% of water when we look into it. So it's a big rock for me. There's a big buzz around hydrogen water at the moment and the benefits that hydrogen water brings to the body, and I'm still trying to be able to then re-educate people on what those are. So for myself, I've been influenced by it, so I'm going to give it a bit of a go over the next bit. So this is actually my Tasmanian natural spring water in here. So it's got all the essential electrolytes in that water, now being remineralized with extra hydrogen. So you don't get much better than that, folks. It's got a little blue light in there. Maybe you can get a red light in there, get some extra benefits to it. But water is a big one, big fan of that. So they're the two big health things at the moment that I'm going to share. There's more coming over the coming episodes. Let's keep this going. So what's happening at MFP? The big thing right now is our 50 Good Days journey starting in 2 weeks. So I might sound like I'm talking about this a lot at the moment, but I believe it's because this is the program that I've developed that is a framework that you will then be able to build sustainable, high-performance lifestyle habits that will enrich your life whilst you continue to push yourself to chase your dreams in sports, career, or whatever it is that you do. If you focus on your health, performance, and lifestyle, there's a big opportunity for you to then optimize everything else that you're doing and give yourself a better opportunity to succeed. Because if your health, your vitality, your body and your mind is optimized, everything else you're doing is so much easier. And I think if people actually took some time and put it back into their body and brain a lot more, they would see a lot of benefits. So here's my scenario for you. How many people do you know right now are dealing with mental health issues? It's rampant and it's growing. How many of those people do you know have optimized lifestyles? I would say that most of those people do not have an optimized lifestyle. There's things that would be affecting them in their health as well. They would have bad sleep routines, bad stress from things that have happened in their life, bad poor quality nutrition habits, like the list would be endless. But if they focused and could put some time and energy into their body, brain, and health, I'm very confident that they would get some decreases in what they're feeling and their emotions, because when you're upbeat with your life from a health perspective, things are easier to overcome in my experience. I'm not saying that it's going to cure everything. I'm not saying that it's the cure for all, but I'm just saying that if people could adopt a healthier lifestyle, as well as still enjoy life, like I still enjoy life. I had wine last night at a big event that I went to. I'm not saying you don't socialize and enjoy yourself. I'm just saying if you are 90 to 85% locked in and dialed with a lot of your lifestyle stuff, and then the flexible comes in on top of it, I know that you can have a big benefit. So 50 Good Days is a framework to help people discover high performance lifestyle habits, which can then have a big impact on your life. So I want to help people live the high performance lifestyle that I live and continue to be able to do everything they want to do as they age. So that's a big thing for me. So I'm getting a bit older, but to me that doesn't matter. I can still do so many amazing things. So I'm 37 now. I'm still chasing big goals. I'm still pushing myself physically and mentally, career-wise, as well as performance in the gym. And I think that my experiences over the last 7 years have really allowed me to be in a position where I can influence people in this space. And a lot of stuff out there is a lot of information. So there's so much amazing information, but I don't think people have packaged it in a way that is step by step and sustainable for you to actually develop these habits and to find the ones that are going to work for you, and then how you can build upon those to then actually put it into your life day to day, week to week, year to year. What I think I've done really well is actually package it in a way that focuses on the big rocks, builds upon those big rocks to then find the things that resonate with you to develop a sustainable, long-term lifestyle performance program that you can live every day, every week. And no one's saying to ever be 100%, but one day will be out, your sleep will be out, something will be off, but it doesn't affect you as much because you've built up all these amazing habits that allow you to get back into the routine and find what works for you. And when you've done it before, where you've gone through these phases of really working on yourself, that the way you feel, the way your confidence is, the things that you get done is of a different level to than when you're destructive and not looking after your health. So it's just something I want to sort of help people build, and especially with a lot of athletes. We have so many athletes here, so many amazing athletes, juniors, youth, semi-pro, pro. And I find it still like there's so much information out there, and they're in these systems that are trying to educate them, but the way that it's packaged is not actually helping them develop these habits or develop these routines which are going to help them with their performance. So that's something that we're really trying to instill. We have now over 50, which I'm super excited, athletes joining us for this journey, and I can't wait to see what we can do over the 50 days and how we can help everyone to sort of find a new level for 2024, because it will set us up for the rest of the year. And the best thing is, you'll be so dialed, it will lead into other factors of your life, but then you'll find these ebbs and flows, and then you'll find your maintenance level, and you'll find what really works for you, and you'll be able to come back to things. And that's what I find myself doing. There's moments where I don't do some things, and then I come back to them later. One of those was intentional grounding in sunlight. There was a phase where I wasn't focused on that, but at the moment now that's something I'm really focused on, so I can connect and de-energize with Mother Earth, which is something that intentional grounding does assist you with. Whether you believe that or not, I'll tell you, go down and sit at a beach for 10 to 20 minutes with no shoes on, get your feet in the sand, listen to the sounds of the waves, no technology, and tell me how you feel after that. I guarantee you feel energized and you feel great, or you feel that sense of what the earth has to offer. So there's definitely something I think people will be able to then build into their week lifestyle, and I can't wait to discover all the things that everyone works on over the journey, because there's a lot of things that everyone can do, and it's not going to be the same journey for everyone, which is even exciting to see how people develop their journey. I have some notes, so if you see me looking away. So I didn't want to not provide the value I wanted. Cool, so that's that. I will definitely be talking more of that. There's another video I'm sort of going to create tomorrow, which I'm excited to do, to sort of give people more insights into how we're building this program. So I'm lucky that I get to go to some amazing events. I went to the tennis recently, saw an amazing match. It was crazy to be able to just like be there in the atmosphere, see how the people interact, see how the environment is, the athletes, the stress, the pressure, and like sort of like look at it holistically from the coach perspective that I am, and the performance mindset that I take into everything that's around me now. So I don't just go to these events for the fun. I go to them to have the experience of seeing what it would be like to be in those high pressure, high performance situations as an athlete, team, or coach. And I sort of like look at what's happening in the coaches' boxes or the athletes and their body language and their behaviors. And it's something I try to take away when I go to events. And fortunately, last night I went to see Tom Brady and hear him speak and talk about a few key things that helped make him the athlete he is, the greatest of all-time quarterback, the greatest of all-time NFL player, and one of the greatest of all-time overall athletes in terms of accolades and what he achieved with the team he is. And obviously, he's not the most athletically gifted, but he had a career of 23 years in one of the most grueling sports out there in terms of collisions, head knocks, injuries, and so forth. So if you don't know who Tom Brady is, I suggest check him out. He is an amazing athlete. There was two big things that resonate with like what we do here in the high performance like athlete space. So the big one was for him when he's training, he is training for the Super Bowl moments. So in his mindset at training, he was putting the pressure on himself that this next pass, this next play, he needs to execute it to the highest ability because the pressure is on that, like, if there's a drop, it results, in that moment of potentially not winning that Super Bowl. So he was constantly putting pressure on himself in training scenarios that were Super Bowl moments, high performance moments, so that he was competing to be ready for when that moment does come to him, and that pressure is there, that he knows that he's experienced it in the training field to the best of his ability, time and time and time again. So rather than waiting to be in the Super Bowl, he was having Super Bowl moments through all the time he was training and creating a mindset that was resilient to the pressure of performing at the top level. And for me, that was a bit of a light bulb moment to hear him say that, because training is obviously a tool that we do, and our technical staff, that is to help us become the athlete we can be and the IQ that we have to perform and have high skill levels. So flipping the switch of turning your training into moments where you're focusing on thinking about pressure plays, pressure scenarios, situations that sort of like obviously might come up in your sport specific to you. So that was really cool, and I took a lot from that. And how would I then, in my mind, I'm like, how do I relate that back to the gym and the athletes and the stress and the pressure that we could then instill in here? And it comes back to our testing scenarios and why we do testing, why we get athletes to max out and like challenge them with things that are outside their comfort zone, because it builds a confidence. And then when they're under stressful situations or situations where they're doubting themselves, they've had these overcoming moments in the gym or whatever it is they're doing, which is competitive, and it builds them up. So for me, that's how I look at it and take away from it. The big thing that he said for why he had such a long career was that he put a big emphasis into recovery and his body work with his coach one-on-one, and he had his full-time coach with him, working with his body and training all the time. So he was putting a lot of energy, effort into developing routines and habits, which is what is amazing about like hearing that at the top, and what we're trying to do now with our 50 Good Days event, he would then live the life of the athlete to be able to have a sustainable long-term journey. So the younger you are, the more you can sort of get that into your routine, the longer impact that could have on having a longer career in sport. And obviously a lot of people are aware of like the LeBron James stories where he spends $1 million a year on his body, and what he's able to do in his 20th season in the NBA, I think it's more, 20th season in the NBA, which is insane in itself, and all the records that he's broken along the way, and the level of basketball that he continues to play to this day. So I guess it just goes to go back, like maybe you don't have $1 million like LeBron, but what can you do to work on your body, your mindset, and what you have, your human machine, to help you be the best athlete possible across your journey, or human in any endeavors in life, right? That's why it comes back to, if you've got a fully functioning, optimized human performance machine, which is your body and brain, it's going to help you win at life. So that's what I take away from those big moments. And a little bit of a funny one. So this is why I changed my intro today, actually, based off this. So I could have sat here and said to you that I've lived the high performance life, you should listen to me, I've got XYZ results, I do XYZ, blah, blah, blah. This is why I'm doing this, and you should be on this journey with me to listen to me, and here's my story, here's my athletes, here's my success. But I hopefully will just enrich you with information and help you to sort of unlock in yourself, and you'll then make those decisions if I'm a person that you're willing to listen to. They had a guest speaker that presented, and one of his opening statements was him talking about money, and then he made a comment of, I've got a lot of money, and there's probably a lot of people in this room with a lot of money, and I work with billionaires and 100 millionaires, 900, 800 billion. Instantly lost the crowd. So it was like, when you look outside of that, like he actually had some great things to say, but the moment you lose the crowd or the people in the room because you're not aware of their surroundings or where you are and who you have there, it's going to be something that you can, it's going to be impossible for you to come back from. So, and then throughout the rest of the evening, it was like the ongoing joke of this guy was there for himself rather than there to provide value for the people that were there to meet Tom Brady. He was trying to use the opportunity to leverage himself. So it was kind of an interesting story to see unfold at that level. And like, no doubt this man is super wealthy, super successful in his ventures, based on the fact, A, he was emceeing and presenting in front of Tom Brady, and then B, if you looked at his watch, you knew that he'd obviously sort of made it somewhere in his business journey based on being able to be out there and talk about the stuff he was talking about. But you got to read the room, and Australians do not like someone who brags about how good or how much stuff they have. So be careful about how you portray yourself and the environment you're in, and the way that you present to others at times, because it might not get the desired result that you want. So that's just one fun thing. There was some other cool stuff from that, but I don't want to go over 30 minutes with these, but potentially I have. So hopefully you've stayed the journey. You look at this like a podcast and enjoy the process of me talking about some cool, amazing things that I'm doing that is part of MFP and just out there in the world that you can take away and potentially use in your life, like learning about hydrogen water. So maybe that's something you want to do. I'm thirsty too. Let's go.